If you want to avoid burnout at work or boredom or zombiehood, today's class is for you. If you're looking for a career that is more satisfying, something that makes you happy, fits your life, and gets you paid, you're going to love today's class because today is about how to use your natural strengths to help you find your dream job, to help guide your career choice. And today's information will also help you, even if you're not going to leave your job, it will help you leverage your natural strengths so that you can have more satisfaction where you are. My name is Patrice Perillo, and for almost 4 decades now, I've been helping people make big changes in their lives, and I know what it takes to make real change. And I specialize in helping professionals who are unhappy at work, they're feeling miserable in their job, and they're thinking that maybe it's time to make a career shift, a career change. So I help them find a career that really something they really want to get up and go to at, for their daily 9 to 5. So today is about strengths. And I gave a class recently about how to identify your strengths, your natural abilities, your talents without taking a test. So go back to that video, but I'm going to do a really quick recap for you today on what strengths are, how to find them, and then we're going to move into how to use them to guide you to choose the right career path. So, what is a strength? A strength is just something that comes so naturally to you, you may not notice that you even have it. So, it's something that is easy for you, it doesn't take a lot of energy, and maybe you just don't even realize it's something special that other people don't have and don't do easily. They're also called natural abilities, talents, gifts. Those are what I'm referring to when I use the word strength. And how do you find them? There are 4 different ways, and I'm just going to go through them very quickly because I captured this in another training. But the 4 different ways are: first, you are going to notice what takes the least amount of energy. You're going to have to observe yourself in daily life. What do you do most naturally? What comes to you easily? And you can just do without much thought, right? The second thing is noticing what is difficult for other people, right? What people are struggling with that you think to yourself, I can do that so easily, right? So noticing what's hard for other people but comes easily to you. The third way is to look back in your childhood before you had any training, before you maybe even went to school. What were you doing? What kinds of activities came to you naturally that you just were able to do? And the fourth way is to ask other people. Now, I want to give you a caveat about asking other people because other people are not living inside of you and they don't know how much energy it may be taking you to do something. But you can ask other people, hey, what do you think I'm good at? What do you see me naturally good at? So there are the 4 ways to identify strengths. Now, the best thing to do, and I gave this as a homework assignment before, the best thing to do is just to use those 4 techniques and download all that information, get it out onto a document, get it out onto a piece of paper, and get 10, 20, maybe even 30 or more skills down there, or rather strengths down there, things that just come naturally to you. And if you have a big word like communication, break it down. Is it written communication? Is it speaking to people? Is it understanding people? Is it listening to people? Is it giving talks? Break all those things down, right? Public speaking. So make a big long list of them. Now, here's what to do once what they are. You are going to use these strengths. You are going to use them to figure out where you would be happiest, right? Where you want to use them in a job. Now, let me give you an example from my own life. Many years ago, I was in a completely different career, and I was in corporate America. I was doing journalism. I was copywriting. I worked for a trade magazine. So I would sit in a cubicle. I would do lots of reading, lots of research. I would then do writing and editing, and very occasionally I would leave the office and I would go and have a conversation with somebody and do an interview and then bring that material back and incorporate that into my writing. But for the most part, I was in research mode and quiet time in my mind and then creating and writing. And that was my job, right? It was a great job and I was pretty good at it. But I really did get to the point of burnout because I was disengaged from it and I was bored and I really was like a zombie when I was showing up. So what I noticed, and I didn't have all this the tools that I'm giving you, but what I noticed that was that I was most uplifted when I was out and connecting with people and interviewing people. And I was really good at asking questions and I was very curious and I was always thinking of different ways of saying things or looking at things. So what I noticed is I was really good when I was connected with people. And I noticed that I like to listen. I like to ask questions. I like to see things from a lot of different perspectives and solve problems. And I was particularly interested in human beings' problems, right? So the thread that was inside of all of those things was human contact, obviously, and it was about helping, really. It was about helping people. So later on, I figured that out. I got some help from a professional and I went into the helping profession and I've been here ever since. Very happy and enjoying using my natural strengths in the way that I'm communicating with people and listening to people. So here's what I want you to do. You need to, if you've already done the exercise and you've gotten a lot of your strengths, your natural abilities out on paper, I want you to go back and circle the top five, right? So for me, the top five, remember there was a thread, there was a theme, but the top five were listening to people, asking questions, seeing different perspectives, understanding people, and really helping people solve problems. So they were my top five if I were to do that exercise back in the day. So I want you to look at your list. Your list may be entirely different. Maybe you have skills with your body, moving your body. Maybe you are more artistic. Maybe you are somebody who loves to do deep thinking and to do research. Maybe that's just that comes so easily to you. You know, maybe you're looking up information all day and you're just fascinated, and that comes easily to you. So the key in terms of finding the strengths are what comes easiest, what actually lifts your energy, right? Now later on I'm going to talk about how to take this information, the top five strengths, and you're going to look in other areas. You're going to look at skills. These are skills are different. Skills are things you went and you learned and you got better at, right? You built a skill set, right? They weren't natural inside of you. Maybe you were naturally good at listening to people, but maybe you got training in how to really hone in and hear what people were saying in different ways at different levels, right? Or maybe you're always been good with numbers, but you went ahead and you got training, right? You got training, you got advanced math skills and that sort of thing. In the future, we're going to look at skills, right? That's training and things that you develop. And we're going to look at passions. Passions are things that you are drawn to, that just light you up, that bring you alive, right? Now, when all three of those things overlap, you're in your zone of genius. We're not there yet. Today, we're just on strengths, your natural abilities. So I want you, that your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to identify your top five strengths, those natural abilities, those natural gifts, the top five. And then once you do that, you're going to have a better, you're really going to have a compass. You're going to have more of a map. These five things must be in your next career, or you must use them. Now, let me give you a little example from my own life, how I might have used this had I stayed in that corporate setting. I didn't know that I had all these skills in helping people and listening and communicating, but maybe I could have transferred. It was a big company into a more people-centric job instead of sitting in my cubicle. Maybe I could have gone into training and development. Maybe I could have gone into HR, interviewing people, etc. But I didn't know my skills. I didn't know my strengths. Okay. So you need to find out what those strengths are and then see what are those top five. A theme will develop. And if you need help with that, let me know. I'm here to help you. And in the meantime, if you want to find out all the things that are necessary in order to make a successful career transition, I invite you to go ahead and get a free gift that I have. Go to patriceperillo.com/free hyphen checklist, and you can get a whole checklist of things that you need to have ready so that you will be able to make a successful career transition. That's what I have for you today. This is Patrice Perillo. I'm on the journey with you, and I'll see you next time for more tips for career transition. Bye for now.